It was on the third day of January when a 200-year-old ghost kicked in the door of Venezuela's Miraflores Palace, and the world woke up to one question no headline could answer honestly. Why did the United States attack Venezuela? This weekend, the U.S. Army Delta Force team conducted a high-stakes operation to bring a sitting head of state, Nicolás Maduro, into U.S. custody. This wasn't a movie. This was another implementation of a strategic blueprint known as the 2025 Mandate for Leadership, or as most of us know it as, Project 2025. The Caracas raid didn't just remove a dictator, it shifted the global status quo. And the lights didn't just go out in Caracas. The established rules of engagement have officially been rewritten. Most people think of the Monroe Doctrine as a dusty piece of history from 1823. But this weekend, it became the Monroe Doctrine, the most powerful weapon in the U.S. arsenal. We thought this level of executive action was a relic of history. We were told that institutional guardrails would prevent such maneuvers. Well, it happened again. And now we need to objectively analyze what comes next, because the landscape has shifted, and this train is headed straight for everything you thought was normal. But for those who think the administrative state is still in charge, you really need to see this chart.
Welcome back to the Unredacted Truth, where we fill in the missing gaps in the world's largest scandals and mysteries. In a world of rumors and theories, my job is simple: uncovering the truth underneath the glitter and the grime. We are exposing a pattern: protection, power, predators, structures built not on justice, but on silence, fear, and impunity. We're not talking theory, we're talking court records, stamps, dates, testimony, and a system that, to this day, continues to fail the public and protect the predators among us. Let's get to it.
To truly understand why the president of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro, is currently in the same child line as Luigi Mangione, you have to understand the historical precedents being evoked. The strategic return of the Monroe Doctrine. Established in 1823, this policy was effectively a no trespassing sign for the Americas. For 2 centuries, it defined the U.S. stance: foreign powers, stay out. But in recent decades, that line became blurred. We have seen Russian military hardware moving into Venezuela, Chinese state-backed corporations securing oil reserves, and Iranian infrastructure projects appearing throughout the region. The current administration has transitioned from a defensive posture to an active one. This isn't just about containment. It's about a comprehensive clearing out of foreign influence. By removing Maduro, Trump is saying the Western Hemisphere is once again closed. Now, to neighboring regions and leaders, the implications are clear. If you dare to align your economy or military with non-regional or foreign governments we don't like, you're no longer viewed through a diplomatic lens. You're viewed as a national security threat. This is the end of globalist cooperation in this end of the world. As I was looking into Maduro, U.S.-Venezuelan tensions, and the absolute chaos of this weekend, I found a link that some of you might find quite shocking, disturbing, or maybe even terrifying. Many are left asking who and what is next. Countries are wondering, are we next? But as the media leaves you with one speculation to the other, the answer has been right in front of us in our current guide into the administration's mind. Project 2025, Mandate for Leadership. Now, Section 2, Department of State reads, in a world on fire, a handful of nations require heightened attention. Some represent existential threats to the safety and security of the American people. Others threaten to hurt the U.S. economy. And others are wildcards whose full threat scope is unknown but nevertheless unsettling. The 5 countries on which the next administration should focus its attention and energy are China, Iran, Venezuela, Russia, and North Korea. One quality that I think Donald J. Trump does not share with other politicians, or can I be bold enough to say other politicians ever, is that he means what he says and says what he means. Now, for a long time, the world has labeled him crazy and a liar. Turns out, he might not be so much of a liar. Crazy? Yes. And the first mistake was not believing him. People called Project 2025 a conspiracy theory. They called it anxiety. Look at the screen. This is the 180-day playbook. It's not a wish list. It's a punch list. Last week, we explored the integration of Schedule F and the deep shadow state. At that time, I had no clue what Jan 3rd would bring. But now I know we really need to take a deeper look at the 2025 mandate for leadership, because it may very well be our roadmap into the next 5 years of the conservative promise. So if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button if you really and truly want to understand the next 5 years and our next chapter. They didn't just send 100,000 soldiers. They used irregular warfare. Chapter 4, Department of Defense, Special Operations Forces. They gutted the State Department of career experts who would have said no, replaced them with loyalists, and pulled the trigger. Chapter 1, Taking the Reins of Government. This chart shows you the reality. 3/4 of the state has been dismantled. The border isn't just being watched. The full entire infrastructure for mass deportation is now untethered and fully operational. This is what unitary executive theory looks like in real life. It means the president and CEO and the administrative state is fired. And if you think the Supreme Court or Congress is going to rein this in, look at the numbers. With 6-3, effectively 7-2 on executive power issues, U.S. Supreme Court, the legal guardrails, have been shown to favor the current administration. They aren't just stopping it. They're watching it happen, like the rest of us. For those who think this weekend stopped with Venezuela, you're terribly mistaken, because China just lost $65 billion in one night. Iran is realizing that if the U.S. can snatch Maduro from his bedroom, they can snatch anyone from anywhere. But here's the reality for us at the water cooler. It's a high-stakes gamble, and the United States is decoupling from the rest of the world. The United States president just told the world, Venezuela is ours and we won't stop. If you're a leader and you take a check from Beijing or a drone from Tehran, you aren't just a politician anymore. You're a target. This is the death of globalism and the birth of America First regional dominance. The conservative promise isn't a campaign slogan anymore. It's a new operating system of the United States. The tools they use to track Maduro's inner circle, the surveillance, Schedule F purges, and irregular warfare. Those tools don't just disappear once the mission is over. Ask yourself, when the neighborhood is clean, who does the cleanup crew look at next? Will it be the enemies abroad or the enemies at home? The train has left the station, and we are on the tracks. It's time to wake up. While Congress releases red herrings in the form of Epstein files, your world is changing. I have accessed the latest document dumps, but prior to, I had the original files. And I need to say this. 60% of the 20,000 plus files released is useless junk. Nothing to do with the Jeffrey Epstein case. I've been going through these files and pages since, and I still can't find this Bubba email. Curious if anyone else can verify an original copy. They state that he's so generously providing Congress and the Oversight Committee this evidence and documents, has not only been accused, but sued and has settled for their involvement in the trafficking organization, with some of them allegedly partaking in the additional services Jeffrey provided his trusted friends. Now, what might surprise or disappoint some of you, or for those who are waiting and are following the Epstein series, for me to drop the Trump and Epstein bomb, is this. After reading all the victim depositions, witness statements, Palm Beach police office notes, investigations, and more, the two people with the least culpability are Alex Acosta and Donald Trump. So while the Democratic Party, Oversight Committee, and opponents of the administration have been focusing all their efforts at making Trump appear stupid, here's the reality. A new system is taking hold. And for the rest of us, it's time we change the conversation. Instead of focusing on why your favorite celebrities are suddenly MAGA, left-wing versus right-wing media battles of semantics, you should be wondering why both right and left seem to have fallen in line. The presidential transition project and plans do not stop at 2025. They continue to 2030. Are you ready? Because by next week, the rules might change again. When was the last time we were warned about Project 2025? I'm Sonia, and this is the Unredacted Truth. Help me put an end to the political games and help us continue exposing the truth the world chooses to censor and ignore. Support this channel. Like this video and share it, because knowledge is the key to power. And subscribe to join a community that values truth over rhetoric. I'm not here to play sides, but to unlock the facts and get to the unredacted truth. So see you next time as we continue to unlock the future of the global state, one scandal at a time.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.